Hey guys, let's discuss new meta interview loop round, which is round 10, and it is called product architecture round. Okay, so here in this round, okay, product architecture round. So the question is given to you that Meta launches a new social feature expected to reach 500 million user in next 6 months. Okay, so one feature is there and Meta is launching it, and in next 6 months it will be reaching to 500 million users. So design the rollout strategy, how you will roll out this feature. Okay, so step one is goals or functional requirement, which you will ask from interviewer. So what your system should do, so the rollout should minimize production risk. Okay, and then validate product assumption, support fast rollback, scale gradually, and then measure business impact and ensure high availability. Okay, now what is non-functional requirements? So it means that it should be served by 500 user, zero downtime, high availability, multi-region deployment, continuous monitoring, safe rollback, and cost efficient. Now, if I will say I would release the feature behind a feature flag, okay, so validate it internally, gradually expose it to the increasing percentage of user, then monitor system and business metrics, and immediately roll back if any regression is detected. So, means feature flag you will be using, and you can disable or enable feature flag. Okay, so that user can use it, or he cannot see the changes. Now, so high level rollout plan will be something like this: developer will do the changes and then they will release the feature flag. Okay, then some internal employee, some percentage of user will test the feature, then we will gradually deploy it for the 1% user. Okay, roll out it for the 1% of user, then 5%, after that 15, 20, and then 100. Okay, now E6 will say at meta scale I would separate deployment from feature flag release. I would use feature flag, dark launches, progressive regional rollout, A/B experiments, then automated monitoring, AI-powered analytics, and automated rollback capacity would be increased ahead of each rollout phases. Now, what is dark launches here? Dark launches means deploy a new feature or code to production without exposing it to user yet. So means deploy, it will be just keep hidden it, okay, and then test in production, and then later enable it for the user. Okay, so that is the dark launch of a feature. Now A/B testing. So A/B testing means show A, let's say you have two feature A and B, so show A to 50% user and B to 50% user, and then compare its metrics like clicks, watch time, and then engagement. Okay, now enterprise rollout architecture will be like this: through CI/CD pipeline you will deploy that feature flag service, and then you will have an experiment platform where a few number of user will experiment it, and then you monitor that platform, and after that regional rollout controller, through regional rollout controller you will deploy it for the particular regions, and then global user will use it. Okay, now follow-up question one is feature flag. We will discuss about few follow-up questions here. Okay, so first one is feature flag. If I will say that deploy code with the feature disabled, enable it only for selected users. Okay, so E6 will say use dynamic feature flag based on user ID, country, application version, device type, or employee account. So all these attributes you can use as a dynamic feature flag. Okay, so no deployment is required to enable or disable the feature. Okay, so now follow-up question two is gradual rollout. Okay, don't roll out everything for each region, gradually just increase it. Okay, so increase traffic gradually, stop rollout if metrics degrade. And E6 will say get each phase on predefined success criteria. Okay, means if for this phase, if this success criteria meet, then only we will deploy it for the next phase. Otherwise, if the matrix is degrading, we will work on that, and then we'll try to increase it, and then only we will deploy for the new phase. Now advance only when error rate remains stable. Okay, and then latency is acceptable, business metrics improved, and infrastructure utilization stays healthy. Now follow-up question three is dark launches. So dark launches we have already talked. Okay, so deploy the backend to production but keep the feature hidden from user, and allow production traffic to execute backend logic without exposing the UI. Here we are seeing answer based on two roles, E5, E6. Okay, E4 can also use E5 answer. So now here Dark launches, what E6 is saying, allow production traffic to execute backend logic without exposing the UI. Okay, what you will validate there, performance, scalability, database behavior, logs, and resource utilization. So before enabling the feature. Okay, follow-up question 5 is database migration. E5 will say avoid breaking existing application. E6 will say use expand contract migration. What is expand and contract? Let's say you have one column age, okay, and you have introduced a new column. So new column, initial value would be null. Okay, now whenever you're writing in both. Okay, you will not remove this old column at once. So initially, so now you will write dual write you will do. Okay, so old column and new column, both places you will write, and then write to both old and new column. Then whenever you're reading the new schema, you will read it from the new column. Okay, you will see that nothing is breaking, then only you will remove the old one. So remove old column. Okay, old column removed from schema. So this is the expand contract migration. Okay, follow-up question 7 is rollback strategy. Okay, if anything breaks, then how you will roll back it. If I will say disable feature flag immediately if issue occurs. Okay, and E6 will say rollback hierarchy will be something like this. First you will disable the flag, okay, then you will roll back the traffic. So then you will roll back the deployment, okay, and after that database rollback if required. Okay, feature flag should always be the fastest recovery option. So these all are means step by step. If this one is not working, then do this. If this one is not working, then do this. Okay, step by step. Okay, follow-up question 8 is capacity planning. How you will plan the capacity. So if I will say estimate expected traffic and provision enough infrastructure. Okay, so in advance only you will expect the traffic and you will provide the infrastructure. Means let's say if 10x traffic is coming, so at least your server 10 server should auto scale automatically. Then E6 will say that plan for peak concurrent users. Okay, then means how many users concurrently will use your feature. Auto scaling threshold. Okay, auto scaling threshold means automatically we tell that if the server capacity is 0.75%, okay, let's say load factor is 0.75%, then increase its number of server to 2 3, you give there some numbers. Okay, so automatically it will increase or decrease. So increase means upscaling of the server, decrease means downscaling of the server. That is just one line thing in the one line changes, okay, in the DevOps. So environment file, you just give that number, that's it. So now database capacity, cache size, queue throughput, okay, and then GPU capacity if AI is involved. So now maintain 30 to 40% infrastructure headroom. Okay, follow-up question 10 is performance metrics. Okay, so what you will track, E5 will say that he will track latency, error rate, and throughput. Okay, E6 will say that apart from this, he will also monitor P95, P99 latency. Okay, 95% of the request should we will deliver in this latency. For 99% of the request should have the latency this. Okay, so you will have that in a contract. Now cache hit ratio, database load, queue lag, and then API success rate. So compare and compare with baseline metrics before rollout. Okay, now follow-up question 11 is failure recovery. If anything fails, then how we will recover it. So if I will say that recover quickly using rollback and auto scaling. Okay, and E6 will say that you implement automated rollback. Okay, it should not be manual, sorry. Then multi-region failover, retry policies, circuit breaker, incident runbook, and disaster recovery testing. Okay, follow-up question 12 is success metrics. Okay, so if I will measure feature adoption, user engagement, and error rate. E6 will track what E6 will track daily active user, how many users are using your feature daily, then weekly retention, session duration, feature usage, crash free sessions. Okay, then revenue impact, user satisfaction, and infrastructure cost. So success requires both technical stability and business values. Okay, follow-up question 13 is AI powered user insight. Okay, so if you're using AI there, then what will be the user insight there? So if I will say use AI to analyze user feedback and engagement trend. okay. So where you are using AI, user feedback, okay, to get the user feedback, summarize the user feedback, okay. And then engagement trend, okay, how many how many users are engaging to your feature, regional wise or timing wise, okay, daytime, nighttime, so it depends on that. Now E6 will say that to build an AI analytical pipeline, okay. So an AI analytics pipeline is same for all the system, okay. It is user events will be there, means user is clicking on something, user is seeing something, okay, purchasing something, searches, likes, share, etc. So these all are user event. You will store that user event using streaming platform, okay. You will ingest, process and stream events in real time, then you will store it in a feature store, okay. So store, manage and serve feature for machine learning. Then you will send these features as an input to your LLM or ML model, okay, and they will generate the response, and then you will show that response on the dashboard. So AI can identify drop off points, okay, where user is dropping off, okay. Let's say one video is going on and where user is dropping off, okay. So that drop off point, AI can identify. Then user sentiment, feature adaptation pattern, churn risk, okay, and then recommended product involvement. So these insights help product team iterate faster, okay. So that's it. Thank you.